Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Charlie, and welcome to an early access look at the brand new updates for Cartel Tycoon. Tiny Build reached out to me again and said, hey, we want to work with you, and we have lots and lots of changes to our game. So thank you to Tiny Build for the sponsor on this video. I appreciate that very much. I want to take a look today, and we're gonna go and approach this like you've never seen the game before, because that's what we do here. I want to make sure we introduce the game to new people, of course. But I'm going to focus a little bit on some of the changes that have been made to the game since we last visited it, because they have been busy on Cartel Tycoon. Yes, they have. So what I have in front of me here with the prosperity updates, the latest update for Cartel Tycoon, it was just released, I guess it'd be a few days ago by the time you see this video. It comes packed with a whole bunch of cool features and also new game modes that you can engage with too. So if you set up a new game, for example, we now have a customizable sandbox mode, which lets you configure the game however you want. And it does literally give you control of 99% of everything you want. We'll get into what that 1% is in a little second. So you can randomize different settings. You start out with the possibility to have 2 capos, but you can unlock 4 more. Again, we'll get into what that is in a little bit. We also have the ability now to change our starting region, and currently there are 3 available to us, 2 that are classified as hard, including Amato, which has no smuggling points at all to start. That sounds difficult, but the benefits of this one, though, is that you kind of have soil for everything, as opposed to like only very certain things. You have kind of free reign on everything if you can just build yourself a smuggling point. So maybe it kind of determines how you want to play the game. Of course, we can still randomize everything up there with these different settings here. We have our different emblems and our different names and such. But then you can get into advanced settings, and this is where the update really shines, because you now have control of everything in your starting positions, in your starting conditions. We have empire destruction, whether you want that to be forgiving or harsh. You can determine how much legal money you start with, how much illegal money you start with, how many lieutenants you can start with, starting neutral locations, how many of them are hostile to you, how many of them are not, right? You have different hiring slots you can go through. Maybe you're one of those people who just want to focus entirely on your production chain and trying to optimize all of that stuff with your supply chain and your exports and stuff, right? What's the formula? I want to experiment with this. You can do that now. In fact, if you'd like to, maybe you're not a fan of the research system. You can just choose what researches you start with, and you can just run with it if you'd like to, which is what we're going to do for this video, just to show you some of the new setups and stuff and what you can do. So I'm going to just go ahead and unlock everything to start this particular sandbox game in this video. If we would like to do a full playthrough of Cartel Tycoon again, there is a story mode now in the game, and it's kind of fleshed out. And that story mode, well, the story mode is kind of required to unlock a lot of things that are taking place with the new global progression system that's been put into the game. So from the main menu, we can now click Global Unlocks, and there's a global progression system as you play it, the different things you do as you progress through story mode, etc. You can now unlock things. It gives you this sense of, achievement as you get more and more things. And that might be a big deal if you're still playing Cartel Tycoon at the end of 2021 or early 2022, because the 1.0 release, they're looking to put co-op and PvP multiplayer into Cartel Tycoon, which, you guys, that's going to be fun. I'm sure it will be. The last thing until we get into the game, and then I can show you how everything works, again, we're assuming new players, right, is survival mode. This is for the hardcore people out there, okay? Time, money, power, legacy. Originally, it's for experienced players or masochists or both. Survival mode is harder than hard. It's that Iron Man level stuff. You have things that are pretty harsh against you. Survive as long as you can, sort of thing. If that's your style, then, go for it if that's your thing. We're not going to do that for this video. Like I said, we're going to experiment and take a look at all of the different stuff that you can do. You know what? I'm not even going to start with all the research. I've decided I'm just going to go, let's get, we'll go with, how about level 1 everything, just so I can touch on some of the basics. I don't need to max everything out, but we'll go level 1. And then maybe we'll unlock the roads too. It's a fairly inconsequential thing. So, we'll go with just the level 1 everything. And how about we max out our money real quick, just so I can show you the different things. And like, look at all the stuff we have control over right now. Lieutenant upkeep costs? Really? You can determine how much you pay your people? Like, they went and really gave you, even so far as to say, I want to be hunted. Like, you could just start your attention way up there. Or you can just disable the cops entirely if you'd like to. You know? You can do that. Just say, I don't care about cops. I don't want cops on me. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna go for things. Sabotage delay. We have enemy AI in the game. And it's gonna get improved in the next update. We're gonna go after it, guys. But let's have a starting point in Foscani. This time, we've been here before in previous series and stuff. By the way, links, everything down in the description. Link to the game, link to the previous playlists. You can see how things unfolded when we were blind, okay? But the reason I like Foscani as a starting point is because it gives us the aerodrome right away. So I like that. We'll go ahead and just keep the standard capo, but I'm gonna have the money laundering volume go up a little bit. For this video, nah, we'll go strong. And we don't need to worry about the research or anything. So starting conditions, pretty good, very powerful. Felix, Vijo, let's go. And I'm just gonna go ahead and overwrite this other save I was dinking around with. So let's rock and roll. All right, we're here in Foscani. We're starting with $100 million legal money. So we're not gonna have any problems staying afloat in this particular video. If we take a look at the map really quick, zoom out, we can see some regions are red. These are the people who are an enemy to us. We're gonna have to do some fighting, some clearing out of enemy gangs in order to get into those territories. Yellow territories are not really owned by gangs per se, so they're a little easier to work with. And, you know, and generally speaking, this increases and decreases the difficulty depending on how many regions you start as an enemy, right? Okay, so we have Felix here. He is our capo. He has a certain amount of cargo he can haul. His car, it has large cargo spaces, but his speed is slow. A variety of different abilities as we go through too. Now, there are some buildings that are still not done yet. I imagine 1.0 is when we'll see those. Things like the airport and the military unit down here. We've got the rebel, the guerrillas over here, right? And you can start in this region if you want to as well. I've done that too. You have to unlock certain things, right? So yeah, I had a little bit. I had like everything unlocked in the version I originally had. So how does Cartel Tycoon work? Well, it's all about your whole like fictional 80s reference. It's sort of like you know, attempting to start your own business in like, you know, like Pablo Escobar did or whatever, right? Like you're trying to traffic things, you're trying to manufacture and produce things. This is a game all about the supply chain management. So let's go ahead and see our options here. We have farms, chemical plants, plantations. Most of the time, this stuff here, these extra things are locked for you, but you do start with the ability to start with farms. So let's take a look at this really quick. Our starting city has this yellow circle area, and we can automatically interact with things as long as it's in this yellow circle. If we go outside the yellow circle, then we're gonna need warehouses and stuff to do this stuff for us. We have two options for paying for this as well, and this is a gridless building system, which is very cool. I'm always appreciative of gridless. So we have, we can buy this with dirty money, which is, you know, just the cash we have laying around from doing bad business, which we're starting with a whole bunch with, of course, here now. And we can also buy this with legal money. Now, if you choose to build it with legal money, it will build right away. So, for example, we can just go ahead and we can see this thing is going to start building pronto. You hit the little progress bar right there. So let's build a whole bunch of these with legal money for a second. And then I'll show you what it's like to build it without legal money. So we'll go about like this and about like this. And let's build one more like here, okay? Now we're gonna build this one with dirty money. So I'll build this one right here. let's say. Now that one won't build automatically because we have to haul dirty money to this to build it. So the legal money is like a credit, and it happens immediately. It's global. It instantly pays no matter where. But if you're gonna pay with something with dirty money, you have to physically bring it there. So let's take a look really quick at, actually I want one more building. I want the communication. This is the warehouse, all right? And we can build this with dirty money too, just as a way of showing it off. Now the warehouse has an area of effect, so you can see that these fields are gonna highlight and not highlight depending on if it's in that area. So we'll go ahead and leave it right about, trying to angle this appropriately, about here. Okay, this is gonna cover everything. Now we're gonna build this with dirty money as well. Everything needs to be hooked up to a road, and in this case, I'm just gonna use the asphalt road, but if you're playing this yourself, you start with a sandy road, which is free. Gravel road costs a little bit of money, but it's faster. So this I'm gonna hook directly to the road, but the fields I'm gonna hook directly to the warehouse. So this is gonna go here, this is gonna go here, and as you can see, as soon as I connect this, the trucks begin coming in to bring the dirty money to this location so that it can be built. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and just hook this stuff up to the warehouse too. You can have infinite connections to different buildings and stuff like this. So it's, oops, that's not what I want to do. So I'll show you how this works in a second. If you've never seen the game before, you probably need to look up this stuff. So certain buildings can be passed through by your lieutenants or your capo. They can pass through buildings like this, but regular trucks cannot. So in other words, I don't want to have a field hooked up to a field because you can't get to the warehouse. No trucks can pass through another field. But that would be why no truck is coming to deliver dirty money to this, because this is hooked up to the warehouse, but it's not hooked up to any other roads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little road here. I'm just going to connect it to that one and connect it to this one and then connect this one over to that one. And right away now we should see trucks on their way to deliver money here, because now they can go around the warehouse if they'd like to. Same thing with this field. This is useless, so we're gonna hook this up to this road instead, and now we should start seeing everything get produced. So speaking of what's produced, we're making opium here, okay? Or rather, we're growing opium here. It takes a little while to grow it. It doesn't grow very much of it, and your trucks from your warehouse, as you can see, the new features, right? When we hover over buildings, we can see that flow, right? So I know all the buildings that this thing is looking at, right? That's pretty sweet. Now, this is being upkept, I guess, with dirty money. You can see that it costs $88 per day, right? I can switch this to legal money whenever I want to. So I could do that, and then I don't have to worry about people bringing resources to it in order to pay for it. So in other words, I probably wouldn't have had to worry about this little road here if I just would have elected to upkeep this with legal money, since legal money is transported instantly everywhere. But in order to export this opium, and of course to make money, we need a way to transport it. And that's where this aerodrome comes in. Now this is in our starting location, and it starts off. It costs money to upkeep. Whether it's dirty money or clean money, doesn't matter. If you do dirty money, though, your trucks will have to bring it here every day to upkeep it. I'm going to stick it with legal money because it's way easier. And as we begin to wash our money and launder our money, it'll become easier to pay for it as well. So this warehouse is outside the range of this aerodrome, or rather the other way around. The aerodrome is not in range of the warehouse. So the warehouse is not going to bring things there automatically. But if we add that additional destination and we add this here, now that single building is in range for that warehouse, and trucks will head out to ship off our newly grown opium to our aerodrome, where it can be, well, let's just say it'll be carried off to wherever our customers may be, okay? So we can meet the demands of our customers. Now let's take a look really quick in our city. In Foscana, we start with a hotel, and this has all the buildings. This list here will have all the buildings that are in that circle range. We have up to 4 additional destinations we can also add. We can recruit lieutenants directly from this if we want to as well, and we can look at a somewhat randomly selected group of people here. Each of them have their own perks, so this guy can demolish buildings right away, and this is pretty good because let's say, for example, you attract attention from the cops and they are on your way to your building. If you don't want to have your whole infrastructure locked down, it might be more beneficial to just demolish the building that they're going to, the cops arrive and the building's on fire, as opposed to the cops arrive and there's evidence everywhere, right? So it's a little bit better for you potentially to just burn your own stuff, let the cops be like, well, that's gone. And then when they leave, you can rebuild it. It costs a little bit of money, but it doesn't cost as much as unlocking an entire infrastructure, right? We have this guy here who's able to have opium cultivating. He reduces opium production intervals by 50%. In other words, we'll be able to crank out twice as much opium. So I like this guy. Let's go ahead and recruit him. We'll hire him. And then there's Sophia here. She has the delivery skill, which means she can manually haul things around where we want them. Her upkeep is also free, which is kind of nice. So let's go ahead and recruit her too. Okay, so we've got a couple of different lieutenants now, and their pictures appear here with the little Z's because we have nothing for them to do. I'm going to send Rapiet here over to the warehouse, move him to here. And we should see, with this activated ability here, we should see opium. It looks like it's not even an activated ability. This is a passive ability, I think. Indeed it is. So the time to produce this has now been reduced from the standard 2 days, 20 hours, to 1 day, 10 hours, right? Kind of nice. Okay. Sophia is just going to be a pack mule that hauls things around, but each of my guys also has a combat rating or a power. So hers combat is 1. Rapiat here has 1 as well, and then my capo has 6 because of what I chose as my perks. Take a look at the open profile. Each person starts with perks and such, as well as their biography. You can take a look at that as well. So he starts with 1 power, but I elected to give him +3 here, plus the assassination, so he can actually take out characters if we'd like to. He can also rob a bank and get dirty money. That will attract the cops' attention, though, so it might not be a smart thing to do. And he also has the coordinator ability, which unlocks attack or defend all buildings in a range. So there's that. So with their total plus attack powers all in check here, we're going to go ahead and we can free and or liberate certain regions and make deals with other places. So for example, let's say Toscana here. They're not hostile to me. And maybe I want to get into this region. Although I don't really know why I would want to. There's no smuggling points here. Unless, of course, I could use this airport later, but probably not. I don't know. It's an airport. Maybe you can. So to get a smuggling point, I would probably like to get the seaport, which is here. Now, I think I can get there without going through town, too, so this might be a good thing to take. Now, right now, the seaport is owned by an enemy gang. This, of course, means that we cannot use it, but we can assault it. There's a 3 combat strength here. We can assault it and take it over if we choose, and I think I will. So we're going to move here. When I do that, it says that my combat strength is 6, their combat strength is 3, so we can proceed to go there, and I might as well have her move with me. This will make our combat strength 7 in this region. Now, when I leave the city, this leaves my city unguarded, and we don't want to do this for too long, although it looks like... Oh, wait. It looks like we have a different person in there. Yeah. We have a different mayor, so actually it's not unguarded, I guess. Well, actually, this might be the case. I think this might be the case here. Yeah, losing control in 10 days. This is what I expected to see. So if we stay outside the city for too long, we lose control of it, and then we have to take it back. That's going to attract the cops' attention a lot. Speaking of attracting the cops' attention, as we fight to liberate this seaport, we are building up our terror level. And this works in a tiered system with little hash marks at the top and bottom. If you reach these bottom little tiers here, you'll attract the attention of an increasingly more powerful police force against you. So we're going to put Capo back in here so we don't lose control of the city. Now, in the meantime, our opium production is it's still going, but it's not very fast. Like, even with this guy slowing this stuff down, it's not that fast. We're taking 8 at a time on the trucks, and as we go through the aerodrome, we can see that we're kind of hauling, what, there was 4 here before in this slot for this plane. Let's speed up time just a little bit. Let the planes land. And now we're sending out 12 at a time here. Now, the planes can take more than this, so we want to give as much here as possible every day. So I don't think we're producing fast enough. So to help speed that up, let's go ahead and put in a whole new setup for this, since we have fertility for opium. Now, we don't have great fertility for opium. If we take a look really quick at the farm, you'll see that the efficiency is 30% on all of these fields. And that's because this land isn't the most ideal for growing opium. We can do it, it's just not ideal. If we zoom out even further, you're gonna see that there are patches of land that are very ideal for this. This yellow area, for example, will give us partial fertility for it. And then this green area will give us that 100% that we're looking for, although we cannot actually grow here since we don't have a partnership with these guys. And I was going to show you that partnership thing, so let's go ahead and do that. So Tensaka, right? If we were going to want to work with these guys, maybe they had a smuggling point for us as well. Maybe they had another airport for us, or they had a border. We would want to work with these guys. So I'm going to click this, and we're going to talk to this mayor. They say that as the mayor, you are responsible for anything in this region. Well, yeah, you're right about that. Well, then you'll need to know that I'm taking control of this. And there's a little bit of a dry dialogue that goes between these two. It's mostly the same with every single leader, but the overall point of it is I'm meeting the mayor, and I'm telling him that I'm coming into his territory. And we can work with this guy if we're willing to do a little favor, right? A little tit for tat, right? So, at the moment, the government controls this, and officials are going to be skimming 30% of all cash that we bring through the city. Okay, so if you're moving money through cities in your supply chain, right, or as you're selling things, if you move through a city that's protected by the government, they're going to take 30% of that cash every time you move through. If you try to move through a city that's red, the gang that controls that will take 100% of your cash. So it's pointless to run through there. You can bring product through there, but trying to bring money through there is pointless. However, we can get full control of this and start operating this as if it's our starting region the same way if we want to do this guy some favors. And there's 4 tiers to these favors. Right now we have to show meth product samples. So we need to deliver 150 methamphetamines. Oh, I don't have any methamphetamines, so I probably won't be doing that. But if I wanted to grow meth, well, I guess I could. I need to do, I think, some research for this probably. I need to have fertility for that, higher tiers and such. So why don't we go ahead and see if we can do this actually. Chemicals, this is hydrochloric acid. We want to go to a lab. I mean, I think we can do everything with meth, honestly. Yeah, we don't really need to grow anything for this. So I think it's all about the lab and chemical plant for this. So if I was going to do that, you can see there's a little bit of a green area here. So we can do meth right here on the coastline. Okay, let's rock and roll. So we're going to do meth. No, we can grow it. No, we can produce it. There you go. I can get it. So let's have a lab here. We'll put a lab here, and this is also 100%. So we'll put a chemical plant here. Now I don't remember the ratios for these, so we're gonna have to experiment with that a little bit. But I elected to have these with dirty money so that I can place them, but not build them yet. So I can kind of work out how I want things to happen. So does it tell me how fast it produces? I don't think so. I think you have to actually build it and then find out afterwards. All right, we'll go ahead and build, looks like 5 of these. I could do math. And then we'll take the lab. I remember, I think the lab is a lot more, it can handle multiple chemical plants. So I'm gonna go with a lab being about, let's say here. And you can see that it's gonna be doing cocaine. I think we have to upgrade to tier 2 to handle methamphetamines. So if I was gonna do that, I would need research. So let's take a look at really quick in here. Yeah. So in Foscani, we currently have a hotel, but there's also 4 slots for other buildings. So we're gonna click this, and I can go into Research Center. You're only allowed to have 1 of these, and it cost me $10,000. I'm gonna say build this. Now, we can also build other things because I have lots of money for this particular video. We can also build other things, and there's a lot of things to choose from. You might be wondering what the advantages of each one are. You can take a look at yourself if you'd like to get the game. Links in the description. However, I will walk you through sort of the basic idea here. We're looking to get a front operation so that we can launder our money, or wash our money as it's often called. This is the process of taking dirty money, or money that we've obtained through illegal activity, and converting it into legal money. That is to say, money that has a paper trail that we can justify as a legal thing. If the IRS was to audit us, they'd be like, okay, yep, that looks legit. The process of doing that often involves some losses, but it's usually worth it, since if you get caught, you get to keep that money, or at least there's less chance of getting caught since you're doing things legally on the books. So the process of this is mostly by taking and using your dirty money to make investments that you can then, I'm trying to do this in like a layman's term thing. It's a very complicated process, and I've also, like, you know, just full disclosure, I don't actually do this myself, so I'm sure there's nuances I'm missing, but you want to basically take your investments in that dirty money and funnel it into a business that actually has real income, so that that income, you know, is showing on the books. And yes, you'll pay taxes on that real income, but you get to keep the money. It's legal money, right? So we can use a bank, for example. This is able to launder 30,000 at a time. Kind of nice. We can choose a salsa club, and there's various different things that you can also do here too, like loyalty actions that you can take. So for example, a church, there's a loyalty action that's associated with this, and not only does it launder cash, only 2,000 at a time, but you also have a big loyalty action that you can do, which will boost your loyalty rating up here. And loyalty increases when you buy goods and resources, but it also increases when you do these loyalty activities, and then other people are more likely to work with you with that higher loyalty. And usually these city-specific tasks and stuff that they want you to do in that chain requires you to have a certain amount of loyalty in order for them to continue on with that mission. So what I'm going to choose here, because I have tons of money, I guess, the cathedral is the one that does a really high one here too. Loyalty on action, the height, a little typo there. This is the big one. The cathedral's a really big one there for that. We're gonna take and let's do. I like casinos. We've been doing a lot with casinos on this channel. If I want to build the casino here, it's going to cost me 25,000 legal money, or if I want to choose dirty money with it, it'll cost me 37,500. So see, using that dirty money is a little more expensive. It's more risky. So we're going to take and use $25,000 here, and we're going to construct a casino too. All right, and then I can show you how the laundering process works. Now, before, in previous versions of this game, we had to manually set this stuff up. Your people had to move money from one building to another to launder it and all that stuff, and it was like, ugh, I hated it. It was like, near the end of the game, it was just like, all right, this entire game is all about moving money around, and that's about it now. And it wasn't that great for the end game. Well, they seem to have changed that a lot, and money that's stored in this area, it kind of gets automatically transferred to your laundering sites now. Oh, thank you. So we're gonna be doing that too. All right, so we're not gonna be able to do any meth here unless we get that research. So let's speed up time a little bit until our research center is constructed. I probably should have started walking you through this stuff, but I had sort of like an order of how I wanted to present things, and then I mixed it all up. So I didn't do it in the right order anyway. Also, the aerodrome has been collecting money this whole time. So $11,000 is just sitting in here. If we fill up any of our buildings, so let's say, for example, we're storing more than $35,000 in this aerodrome, that's gonna attract the attention of the police. There's gonna be seeing things that don't exist. People will be walking by going, what is all of that? That looks weird. I'm gonna phone that in, right? We don't want that kind of stuff, that kind of attention brought to us. So I'm gonna take my my lieutenant that can move things around. Hey there, I'm gonna move her over to the aerodrome here. And we're gonna set up a delivery route for her so that she can take money from here and bring it to the city so that it can be laundered in our new casino. There it is. So currently the casino is laundering money for us, $12,600 at a time. It takes 7 days to launder that money, and it's also costing us $1,800 in upkeep this time too. So factor that math in. This is not that efficient in laundering your money, okay? The upkeep cost is huge, and it's kind of digging into almost all the laundering. So just keep that in mind. Laundering money is not necessarily a free action. Also, let's pause it really quick. It appears as though we've attracted some attention, and there is now a rival gang spotted nearby. Yes, the rival gang from this city is not happy that we stole their seaport, and they've come to take it back since I left it unattended. So now they're going to fight against it. And wouldn't you know it, they've got 11 power in this attack, so I'm not going to be able to defend that. We're just going to let that go. But we moved and we lost it, right? Enemy gangs, they're a thing now. Let's take a look at Sophia here. Now that we have her here, we can choose a delivery route, and we can tell her we want her to take money as much as she can. We can actually choose an amount too, a finite amount. I can say only move 12,000 of it if we want to. But I'm gonna choose an infinite amount, or at least all of it, I guess. And we're gonna choose to bring it over to here. And we're gonna dump it in that casino right there. So she's gonna move money 12,000 at a time. And we're gonna make sure our storage doesn't fill. Now this applies for product as well, because product is, well, it's physical product, and it's going to be sitting around. So if our warehouse, for example, fills up, which currently it's not, then, you know, we would have that problem, that same problem too, attracting attention from the police. Now, I would like to get into research. Here we go. And I need to get to lab tier 2, or is it 3? Tier 3 unlocks methamphetamines. So we might as well go for that since I have the money for it. So we'll research this. And it looks to me like Tensaka here is probably not the first region we would want to go after here. I bet you this region is easier to get help with, or easier to get into. Let's talk to this mayor. And this is the same thing, same dialogue as the last guy. And this one wants us to eliminate the gang presence in her area. So she's not happy with how the gangs are here. She would like us to help her out with that. And that would be the red icons that are within her borders. So this plantation is under gang control, this warehouse, this village, and this drying rack. So she wants us to remove the gang presence in these areas. We can do that pretty easily. I'm gonna take Felix over, and we're just gonna move him to these regions. His strength is very high, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. As long as my combat strength is higher than the locations, I can take this without having to worry about my capo dying or anything like that. However, if they move their enemy gangs into there to help defend it, and the combat strength that they've brought with them tips the scales, well, then we have a problem. If the combat strength is the same on both sides, they'll just sit there and beat each other up in a stalemate and drive up the terror rating. Because yes, as you'll see as I combat this, or as I fight this, my terror level is going to start rising. We have a problem with that. Another problem we have is my accountant is getting worried. Yes, because we've been spending a lot of money in close time scale, right? Now, it looks to me like research is still doing that. So if you research something, it's still going to count as you spending lots of money in close proximity to each other. And that could get the attention of the authorities, and they might maybe ask for a bribe to keep quiet, right? Reporters might ask for a bribe to keep quiet, etc. You may have to kill a reporter or two to keep your operations under the radar, but that's really not going to necessarily keep it as quiet as you'd like, because you just killed a reporter, so somebody's going to notice that. All right, so the terror offense is almost up to this level, but I'm just going to keep going so I can show you what happens. So we're going to go ahead and move in, take this region here too. And while we're doing that, you can see that we're paying for all these buildings. Research is filling up. It's going to take a long time for this to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and let this run a little bit once I get the terror offense up. I'm going to let the game run for just a little while so that I can build up that research and get some new production chains to show you how those work and how we might use, these other regions to our advantage by helping them out. So I will be right back. Okay, research was taking too long. So I went ahead and made a whole new save with all the research and stuff unlocked. And what just happened while I was getting ready to start speaking again, it looks like our aerodrome has been confiscated. Oh no! Yes, the DEA, we got them involved, and we started doing a lot more traffic and stuff. Now they're going to investigate our aerodrome. Now, what does this mean? Well, the investigation will succeed in 5 days, and that is to say, well, they're going to be looking for any illegal activity here. So we have our first attention star. This is for border investigations. The DEA will now periodically conduct a border investigation at the smuggling points that we use. During an investigation, the selling price of products will be lower, and if you continue to use the smuggling point while it's under investigation, the smuggling point will be seized. In other words, their investigation takes some time, and if you keep using it, well, they're going to discover that you're doing something, and then they're going to take it. You're going to have to wait an extended period of time to get it back, and then pay a huge fee to get it back. So what we want to do is to stop using this stupid thing, of course. So we're going to take this warehouse, and we're going to stop sending product there. All right. Now, like I said, I've started a new save. I wanted the research to go faster and everything. So I went ahead and I've gotten farm up to tier 3, lab to tier 3, chemical plant to tier 3, just so I could show you this stuff and how it all works, okay? Now, we should probably drop a residence. This can store lots of dirty money for us. And another thing that was happening with the previous save, you'll notice we have almost no dirty money in this save, and that's because our hotel, the storage was full, because I started with like $1 million of dirty money, and the hotel can only hold $65,000. So the DEA was gonna come and seize like $1 million from me anyway, okay? So I went ahead and wanted to avoid that too. Now the upkeep for our casino, which is laundering this money, the upkeep is $1,800, and this is dirty money upkeep. So we have to keep pushing that dirty money. So as a result of that, we're gonna start shipping through the seaport instead. So what I'm gonna do first, let's just take a look and see what's the strength on this region. It's a 1. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Felix is gonna come all the way over here and take this. Okay, then I'm gonna have my new lieutenants. I do have new lieutenants now. They have two combat strength. I'm gonna have let's have Roberto go over here and put you here. He'll take that because it's 2 to 1. Okay, now let me walk you through this because I got these labs and stuff, right? First and foremost, these 2 buildings are red, right? These red lights. That means their storage is full. That means they're going to attract the attention of the authorities. We need to keep emptying these out, which is what we're trying to do with all these with this warehouse and stuff, and all these trucks going out. But there's just not enough, right? We're producing so much of this stuff. You can see the different storage for our warehouse tier 3. We're kind of filling up these different products. And what are these products? Well, some of these chemical plants are producing hydrochloric acid. Some of these chemical plants are producing methamphetamine. And some of them, I think actually just one of them, is producing the precursor, which is an optional thing, but it can make things faster for you if you have the setup to do it. The lab is responsible for taking these things as a formula, mixing them together into methamphetamines, okay? So they're gonna take methylamine, hydrochloric acid, and the optional precursor, which I've selected to do, and it will produce 12 methamphetamines. But notice how each one of these is a different quantity, okay? 33 of this, 7 of this, 8 of this, and it produces it in 10 hours. The rest of these are producing a set amount, like say 15 here, produced in 9 hours. Methylamine, 23 of this, produced in 13 hours, okay? So precursor, 15 of it produced in 12 hours. Different amounts, different periods of time to produce the goods, and it's up to you to play around with what's the most efficient build, and you can min-max it if you want to. I would recommend for new players, do not try to min-max this. Do not try to be 100%. Always produce at like 90%. That way, you're always having some building waiting around for product, but that also means that your production buildings are not filling up. Because if you're constantly filling them up because you're producing just a little bit more than you're using, it's going to create more micromanagement for you. It's not worth it. So there you go. That's what I would recommend. Now, the final approach, and we're going to start using this right now, is the workshop. And this is responsible for taking the content, I guess, in this case, the methamphetamine, and mixing it with something else, like vegetables or coffee or soup, or I guess it's not soup, it's spice, or electronics like consoles and televisions, etc. We're going to want to smuggle this stuff in other legal stuff so that we can, get it to the border. And that's what we're going to be doing now, because the DEA is investigating our aerodrome. We don't have any way of exporting. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try to export it through the seaport. And that's going to require Felix to go and take it for us. So we have our buddy over here, which is going to go ahead and get this stuff in the drying rack here. And that's going to satisfy what she wants us to do, right? And then Felix is going to take the seaport so that we can start using it. And while that's going on, though, we need vegetables to smuggle this stuff into. Now, I have these two plantations. These are bigger farms. I've got these two plantations growing vegetables, but it takes a long time to do that. 5 days and 7 hours remaining to get this, 5 days and 7 hours total to get this. And that's not great. We can upgrade these plantations so they produce even more and maybe faster. But at the end of the day, actually, it doesn't do that. No, it doesn't produce more faster. All it does is open us up to the possibility of producing different stuff. So whatever. But in any case, right, we're producing vegetables, but it's going to take too long. And I need to start exporting stuff now, dang it, now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have somebody buy the vegetables from the village we just liberated. We can purchase products from this. So we have vegetables here. I can max this out and say, I want to purchase 52 vegetables. Okay, now it's going to take a little bit of time for that to replenish their supply. They're restocking, right? Takes a little bit of time to do that. While it's happening, though, there's 26 vegetables in storage waiting for us to pick it up. And you can see that we got a little bit of loyalty for doing that. We're buying things from the people, right? That's gonna create some loyalty. Let's have my lieutenant over here. I'm gonna have you move to this village temporarily, and our terror rating is gonna go way up here. That's okay though. So we're not using this anymore, right? Hopefully, the planes are gonna land and there's nothing on them. Nothing to see here, cops. Although we do want to get the money out of there, probably. We should probably get that money out of here. It's $1,000, but it's dirty money. All right, so this lieutenant is now going to deliver the vegetables, and all of them, I guess. And we're going to have them delivered to, let's say, this workshop. We'll go direct to the workshop. All right, so with that being done, the workshop can now get to work. It has methamphetamines ready to go. It just doesn't have the vegetables. So once it gets the vegetables, that'll be great. We've now attracted the attention of the police, and a suspicious building will now be seized. So if any of these buildings that are suspicious, they're going to seize them, right? That's going to happen now. So we don't want them to fill up, or the cops are going to come after us and they're going to investigate. Now we have Felix here who's going to give us the seaport. That's in. We can go ahead and turn it on for us now. And as long as Felix stays here, I don't think the enemy gangs will try to take it. I don't think it'll be worth their time. But what we can do now that we're packaging this stuff up, we now have packaged vegetables with methamphetamine stuck inside. So what we can do now is we're going to add a destination from this workshop, and we're going to have you send that to the seaport. And you're now going to take packaged vegetables with methamphetamine stuck inside, and we've stuffed them inside the oranges, and that's a fruit, whatever. We've stuffed them inside the cucumbers, and we're going to export them here, okay? Now this boat is capable of exporting a ton of stuff at a time, but it takes a long time to do it. When the boat gets back, it will take it'll either take its maximum capacity or 100% of what it can store, right? And we're gonna go ahead and do that. Now, you'll notice another thing just happened, right? bribe the journalist failed, right? We weren't able to successfully bribe the journalist who was coming after us. Oh no. So now we've attracted even more attention from the federales now. Yeah, so now a suspicious building and several adjacent to it will be seized. And this is where destroying your own buildings might come in handy, because these things are red. They're going to start attracting attention. And it's not just this one building that was suspicious that's going to be seized. Now it's everything in this circular area, in this radius, that's going to be seized. Yikes, I don't want that. I might want to go ahead and demolish this. But this is a chemical plant. So can you guess what happens if I try to set fire to a chemical plant? I'll give you a hint. It's loud. In any case, we probably won't see that in this video. I can't show you everything in the video. I'm very sorry, but there's a lot of content in this game. This is a single video, but if you want to see more of this content, if you want to see more of the new update for Cartel Tycoon, please let me know in the description. Like the video, subscribe, all that stuff. It lets me know that you like what you see here. So I have gone ahead and I'm going to liberate this little town, and then we'll see what the next step is with Maria over here. Domination done. And now she's gonna say, hey, all right, we're good to work together. All we need to do now is deliver $10,000 in cash to her. That's it, that's the bribe, $10,000 in cash. However, that has to be dirty money, and we are not laundering it fast enough because this building works on dirty money, which is unfortunate since we can't launder it without that. So I'm going to need to earn more dirty money, dang it. And that's where the seaport comes in. So the seaport, I'm gonna zoom ahead a little bit in time here. You can see all the trucks coming in with the vegetables packaged up. Okay, so this warehouse is filled up now. There's too much methamphetamine in here. We're producing way too much methamphetamine, and that's a problem. So what I might do is, well, I might have to just stop producing methamphetamine. That'd be one thing to do. But the other thing to do potentially is to set up another lab, because like even methamphetamine here is starting to fill up too. So we might want to set up another lab, but I think probably what should happen is we switch to producing other types of products. So I'm gonna have you guys switch to other things, and either way though, we're gonna see buildings get seized. I'm hoping to see buildings get seized, at least in this video. I want to see that. So the investigation stopped in the aerodrome, right? So they didn't reveal anything. They didn't see anything suspicious. No big deal, right? So we can go ahead and start shipping things back over there if we want to. And this warehouse is so full, dude. Come on, cops. Don't you see what I'm doing here? Are you not entertained? Police, get in here. You know what? I'm going to fight them off, too. If the police come to get my stuff, I'm going to fight them. All right, we're getting very, very close to having things seized here. The boat's coming in, and it actually already left before, so this trip is almost finalized. It shipped 23 products, 23 packaged vegetables, I guess, and it's gonna get us $44,000 in dirty money, right? So next shipment is gonna be 29. And so now we have a bunch of cash in here. It can hold up to $425,000 in cash, which is a lot more than the aerodrome's capacity, which I think is like something like 35,000 or something. So it can hold a lot more cash too before it starts to raise suspicion. And then this boat leaves and it's gonna bring us back 56 grand. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I have now taken and to getting Vanessa here. I recruited her. We're gonna have her deliver the money in all of its glory to the casino here so that we can start getting that stuff laundered again. However, we've got all this stuff happening. It's gross. There's lots of stuff. I'm looking forward to the cops coming and raiding us soon. But we need to also deliver $10,000 in cash to her. So what we're gonna do also, I think actually, Vanessa, here's what I'll have you do. I already delivered a little bit to the casino so it can continue operating. Well, at least for a little while. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to deliver some of this money, let's say $10,000 worth. And we'll deliver that all the way over here. So that's going to take place for us kind of automatically. Now, the hotel itself, I've added the seaport as a source for this. But we're losing control of the building. I've added the seaport as a source, right? So that it will send cars automatically out to get the money for us. Let's send Roberto over here just so we stop losing control of that building. Technically, like, Vanessa's gonna tag up. As soon as you tag up, it sort of resets that counter. But because this is an enemy gang territory, they don't like us controlling their stuff. So if we ever leave it unguarded, they're significantly more likely to come and try and take it from us. And I don't really want to fight it, so I'm just gonna leave it there. All right, so the cops don't seem interested in us yet for some reason. Now we're filling up with hydrochloric acid. Yikes. Okay, you know what we just need? A lot more labs. Let's just get some more labs. Let's go production lab. Pop it here. Yep. And we're just gonna, actually, I should have done a tier 2 lab here instead. 2 labs may not even be enough. But we're just going to upgrade it and do methamphetamines. And so this should now get supply off of this. Yeah, and our warehouse is no longer full. Good. So now just send it over here, please. Uh-oh, enemy gang spotted nearby. Are they going to come and take it? Yeah, they're probably going to come and take it. No. Where are they? Oh, they're going after my town, are they? Oh, okay. See, I haven't been in town for a while, I see. So Felix is coming. Gonna try and defend it. Oh, no. Get in there, Felix. I'm gonna have to go. Go. Everybody go. Don't take my town. Investigation in 4 days. Great. Bring it up there. Go, Roberto, get there. All right. So we got a whole bunch of people in here. Vanessa's got some fighting power too, but I'm hoping this will be okay. So now let's see the fight. So currently on our side, there's 14 strength. Their side is 11. So technically we can defend this, but while we're defending this, it's terror in the streets, man. And that's gonna attract a lot of attention. You get it. We're gonna build up that attention now. It's not gonna be great. Okay. So we're gonna deliver more, nope, not vegetables. Well, we probably should. I don't know. This is done now though, right? Or no? Haven't we delivered this? 98.50 is what we've delivered. Darn, okay. Well, now we have more, so let's deliver a little bit more cash. 98.50, really? That's like $100 more, isn't it? Yeah. All right, bribe the mayor is complete, and all we can do now is we can just acquire the city. So now it's like, hey, we're here, good, nice doing business with you. So when we try to acquire the city, she's also offering to work for us. So I can go ahead and take the region, and she'll be like, yes, cool, I'll work for you. And just like that, she's on our team as well. So we're just gonna move Vanessa in here, get to fight. Yes, get in here, Vanessa, go. Oh, this investigation is not going to be pretty. They're going to see our stuff. Maybe not. There's only 9 vegetables in there, but it has methamphetamines, and I think they'll probably notice this. Let's just see how that works. I haven't seen these investigations yet. Like, this wasn't a thing before, so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing whether or not they're going to... Oh, 6 days left? What happened? Wait, what? Enemy encounter is imminent. So the investigation halts because the enemy is coming? Is that it? Wait, is there a rival gang coming after this too? I don't see them. Maybe when they're done dealing with us, they're gonna go after this? Yeah, they just took it back. Okay. Well, now the cops can investigate them, I guess. And that is Cartel Tycoon, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I can't show you everything in this video. It's kind of all over the place. And that's the way this game is, man. It keeps you busy. So if you like this, like I said, leave me a comment down below. Let me know. And I hope you'll check out the channel for more if you're new to this channel. We have over 2,300 videos with strategy games, builder games, logistics, business, all sorts of types of games here we play, including some RPGs and stuff too. Check all that stuff out. It's in the playlist tab. My name is Charlie. I hope you'll join me next time. Bye-bye.